And welcome to the Dreamy Background tutorial. And in this video, we are going to create the effect that you're looking at right here. Now this can be used for several different things, for any psychedelic type backgrounds, or for futuristic modernized type of designs, or you can just create these types of backgrounds that can be used for wallpapers, desktop backgrounds, website backgrounds, and things like that. So this is a really cool effect. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you how this is done. Alright, first thing, come right up here to File and select New. And you see right here where it says Width, I want you to put in 8. And change that from pixels to inches. And then for the height, put in 8 in there as well. And we're creating an image that is 8 by 8. That way we get a nice perfect square, because we're going to need that, and that'll help us in designing this background for some of the techniques and filters that we're going to be using. But for resolution, go ahead and enter in 300 and then click OK. And what I'm going to do is just pull this out here. I don't need to get really too close to it, but this looks pretty good. Now for the background, what we're going to do is just go ahead and fill that background in with black. So just go over to the toolbar and select the paint bucket with a black foreground. You can press the D and X keys on the keyboard and to get that black. I'll go ahead and fill that in with black. And let's go ahead and make another new layer. I'll just go ahead and click on the image once more, and you can see that layer fill with black. Alright, great. Let's come right up here to Filter and down here to Render, and I want you to select Lens Flare. Now when the lens flare comes up, what we must do is get this brightest spot of the lens flare inside this circle that we see here. And you can do this by clicking on the little crosshair, and you can move that light around just like so. But what you want to do is get that in the middle so you can create what looks like, it's just kind of like a sun, but it has this glow around it. So whatever you have to do, make sure it looks very similar to what you see right there. And as soon as you have that, then go ahead and click OK. Alright, and the reason why we use the lens flare is because some of the characteristics here will help us in achieving that abstract background that we're looking for, because we do have a bright area in the middle, we do have some other lines here, we have a glow, we have like an orb sort of shape happening here, and those things will help us create this effect. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is over here on the Edit menu, let's select Free Transform. And what I'll do also is just come up here to View and zoom out of the image. And I'm going to point or pull these handles down and create something that looks like this. We're just going to squish the lens flare there into an oval shape that looks just like that. And when you have that, then just press the Enter key on the keyboard to confirm that. After this, all we have to do is duplicate this layer. And so what I'll do is just drag that to the new layer icon. Then I'll come up here to Edit, Free Transform, hold down Shift, and I'll rotate this so it's going vertical. And then I'll press the Enter key to confirm that. And then I'll come over here to the Layer Blending Mode menu, and I'll select Lighten. And you can see by selecting Lighten, it'll blend these two layers together using the lightest areas of the contents in that layer. Now let me go ahead and just zoom into this real quick, and we can see this just a little bit closer here. And what we're going to want to do is create this sort of flower sort of shape. And so I'm going to click on Layer 1, make another copy of that, and then I'll come up here to Edit, Free Transform, and I'll rotate this let's just do about 45 degrees, just like that. And you know it's 45 degrees. If you look up here on the options bar, you can see it right there. And if you like it, go ahead and press the Enter key to confirm that. And I think what I'll do, I'll drag this above so it's above all the other layers, and then I'll select Lighten from the blending mode menu right there. Let's click on layer 1 and drag that to the new layer icon, because we're going to make a copy of that one more time. and then drag that to all the way to the top, and then come over here to Edit, Free Transform, and rotate this 45 degrees as well. But this time you're going the other way. Instead of going this way, you're going to go to about negative 45 degrees, something like that. And then go ahead and press the Enter key on the keyboard. Great. Let's come over here to the Layers palette, and let's select Lighten for that one as well. And so now we have sort of this starburst, flowery type shape, and that's just perfect. That's what we want. Now what we're going to do is make this shape larger, and we're also going to merge some of the layers. So first, double click on the background layer and just go ahead and click OK as soon as the dialog comes up. And what that'll do is just unlock the layer. We'll go ahead and name it later on. Okay, great. What we're going to do now is merge some of the layers that you see, and then we're also going to resize this shape to make it larger. So first, I want you to double click on the background layer, and then when you're prompted with the new layer dialog, just go ahead and click on the OK button. And then don't worry about the name for right now. We'll go ahead and rename that later. But what we're going to do is over here on the image, or I'm sorry, over here on the layers menu, I want you to go ahead and just merge the visible layers, which will merge all the layers. So basically that's just flattening the entire image. All right, next I want you to come up here to Edit and down here to Free Transform. And then up here on the options bar, you'll find the width and the height % adjustment right here. Well, you see this little icon right here? It's a little has a little chain on it. Well, this just allows us, when this is activated, that means that we will maintain the image's aspect ratio when we resize it. So go ahead and go ahead and select that, and then where it says width, I want you to type in 200. Okay, and you could probably even go like 225, just large enough to where the shape's edges are not going beyond the canvas or outside of the canvas. So if it looks like this, just go ahead and press the Enter key on the keyboard. Great. And I'm going to go ahead and zoom out, and we can take a look here and see what we got. Okay, and I'll just go ahead and press the check mark right here to confirm that. All right, now it's getting more interesting. Let's come up here to Filter and down here to Distort, and I want you to select Wave. And what I'm going to try to do with this shape is create some sort of separation and little tiny beams of light with this shape, almost like a scattered effect. But you don't want to turn up the generators so high that you all of a sudden you have this sort of like rectangular type objects and zigzags and all sorts of different things. And this is really not what we want. We want to just adjust it so we're barely to that point, and when we do that, that'll create more of a curve, and we can adjust the wavelength as well. I could turn this up a little bit, and I just want to create these little, almost like these little starbursts. And you can play with the amplitude, but you know what? As soon as you start turning that up, then you're going to get that zigzag effect, which again, it's not really what we're looking for. But I'm going to go ahead and play with the wavelength a little bit here. And what you can do, just to be on the safe side, is you can go ahead and copy the settings that I have on the wave filter. And so that way you'll get the same exact result. So you can go ahead and pause the video now and look at the settings that I have and make sure though that those are exactly the same, and then we'll just go ahead and move on from there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click OK. All right, super. Looks kind of cool. It's not exactly what we're looking for, but I'm sure you can probably do a lot with this type of effect. And so what I'm going to do now is duplicate this layer. So I'll just go ahead and drag it to the new layer icon. Then let's come up here to Filter and Distort, and down here to Twirl. Twirl. And we're going to create this twirl, and it's not going to be a very harsh twirl. It's just going to, we're going to go about somewhere in the middle between ground zero here and then all the way to the right. So I'm just going to adjust it